and each bronchoscopy, I mean, Pat should have only had 2, not 4. Well, he should have only had 1, really, not 4.
Yeah.
You know, like, are these hospitals getting paid per procedure? You know, like, I mean, they've got to get their act together.
Yeah.
And training them to speak English would be nice, because we had 1 Aussie person out of the whole hospital debacle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To add to frustrations.
Yeah, and look, honestly, and it's not a matter of them needing nurses in a hospital. Yeah, every single time I went in to visit Pat, which was twice a day because I was taking his cannabis oils over to him, I would be walk past the nurses' centre or, you know, the nurses' station. Never fail to see at least half a dozen of them there on their phones.
Right.
And no wonder they lost him for 4 hours. They didn't know where he was. He was downstairs in radiation. They forgot to go and send someone to bring him back and all sorts of stuff, you know. So none of them are none of them are doing their job. Give them the training and pay them the wages that they're entitled to, and maybe we'd see something change. But GPs definitely need more training, and they've just got to look at alternative treatments. I mean, the only ones getting rich on this are the pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah. It needs a more holistic approach.
Oh, definitely.
I'm hearing you saying.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Look, there's all sorts of treatments out there. I mean, and I know someone that knows someone that documented their complete lifestyle change, took it, and she was a doctor, cured herself of cancer twice, and the medical profession still wouldn't let her submit her data to them. I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
So if there's alternatives, look at them, for goodness sakes.
Yeah. They could be used in, you know, adjuvantly, you know, complementarily.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, look, every one of them said to us, we don't care if you're taking cannabis oils or alternative treatments, just tell us in case it's going to react with anything that we give you. Yeah. And we only had 1 doctor in PAL Care. The first week he was there, we had the 1 doctor, which was terrific. The second week we were there, it was a different doctor every day, and one of them just said, oh, you can't take that. That's not going to work. And I just said to Pat, open your bloody mouth. And actually, the next worst thing that we experienced was this doctor came in at PAL Care, and Pat desperately wanted to be at home, to pass at home. That was all he wanted to be. And I knew they had the Peach program. And this doctor said to me, she said, oh, you'll only get help for a week. I can't guarantee you'll get help after that. And I said, it's what he wants. Yeah. And this was on the Monday. And I said, I want him to come home. We've got the hospital bed there. We've got the oxygen. I've got the portable oxygen. I want him to come home. It's what he wants. Well, I can't guarantee anything because, you know, it just doesn't work that way. You'd have to wait your turn to get on the system. And you only go on that for a week, and then after that you'd have to come back here, and we might not have a bed. Anyway, he passed away I was saying, I want him home. Next Monday, he's coming home. He passed away on the Wednesday. So anyway, the PAL Care nurse came by on the Wednesday night to see me. And I said to her, she said, why didn't you get him home? I said, I tried. I said, this doctor told me we would only get the Peach help for a week, and after that we were on our own. She said, that's rubbish. She said, if someone's going to go for a week, she just said, we just put them back in the system ourselves at our end. She said, it's got nothing to do with them. And, you know, there was just something else because he wanted to die at home. And then they didn't ring me. They knew when they put in one of those colostomy bags or something,
Yeah.
She said to me they would have known then that he probably would pass within 12 hours. So they gave him that at 9 o'clock that night. They rang me at 6 o'clock the next morning and said, I think you should come in, but don't hurry. Got there at 6:15. He'd passed away 5 minutes beforehand. That was the only time those PALCare nurses had let me down.
Right.
Every daytime nurse I'd come across, absolutely wonderful, 110% wonderful. And when our home care PALCare nurse came that night that he passed away, she said, they should have rung you last night, Adele. She said they would have known. She said when they gave him that bag, they would have known. And that was just another devastating thing.
So this is a question that's a bit off script. So do you think that yours and Pat's experience would have been different if PALCare had been introduced from the get-go? Like when you both sat there, you know, within the first week after having the diagnosis, if PALCare were involved, knowing that, you know, if time was of the essence and what PALCare can do in terms of pain management, symptom relief, all of that sort of stuff, would your experience, do you think, have been different?
I don't think so, really, because, I mean, at the first instance, we were told he had 1 to 2 years. So we wouldn't have even considered PALCare.
Right. Which probably points to a bit of the misconception about PALCare, because PALCare is more than just...
Oh, definitely.
You know, yeah.
To me, it was I didn't know that till I joined one of the groups and I found out that it does all these other things as well. I always thought PALCare was where you went to die.
To die, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, again, on the part of the health professionals to communicate to patients properly about what PALCare is and get it involved sooner rather than later.
Yeah, yeah. See, when we did finally get him home, the oncologist said, we'll do pain management, which was really weird because he didn't have pain. The only time he had pain was if he coughed, it hurt on one side. That was the only pain he had. So,
Right.
of course, he's home for the 2.5 months, and I'm thinking, why is he still on all this medication?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
Right.
And even the PALCare nurse, because he did always have trouble sleeping, and he had a particular tablet he took before bed.
Yeah.
And she said, is he still having this? And I said, no, it's not on his list. She said, well, they can't just stop that. She said, that's got to be a gradual thing. She said, I'll go and try and find out what they're doing. But, of course, this all, got too far down the track by then. But he was on all this, what they called pain management medication. And half of it I don't think he even needed.
Right.
And that's what I didn't get the gist of. Was
did they know? Did the PALCare people know he was on the cannabis oil?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were up front with everybody on that. And she just said, look, I don't care what you take. If you think it helps, you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because most of it, look, as I said, it was when we got that second opinion, and she said she would have started him on something had she seen him back in the first instance. That was when he really sort of gave up. And if she could have given him a sugar pill and said, this will help you, because she did say, if you can build yourself up, and I'll do a blood count, she said, in a couple of weeks, she said, we'll start something. Now, if she could have given him a sugar pill, he would have had the will to fight some more. Look, honestly, I've always been under the impression if I ever got anything like cancer, I wouldn't have treatment. I've always said that to myself for donkey's years. As soon as Pat heard it, I'm going to fight this. No matter, come hell or high water, he was going to fight this. He was a fighter for it. I mean, this all happened, his diagnosis was on his 70th birthday, mind you. Fit as a fiddle, always worked.